Hello everyone, I am the Shinigami,
And I am the Quincy, and welcome back to our channel.
and today we are reviewing Fairy Tail Chapter 336.
Yep, in order to live today to the fullest. Oh, and heads up, if you are a hardcore fairy tale fan, a fairy tard, if you want to say it like that, or a huge Natsu fan, then you might as well turn away from the video right now.
So, I will let you give the key points.
First key point is just the beginning, which was alright. Was alright. It was pretty much the mages. And then we saw Lucy coming to Urza and not Urza, Wendy and Laxus with future Lucy's journal. So I was like, oh, alright. And then the rest of the chapter is pretty much Natsu. It really wasn't much to the chapter, it was just the reveal from the future, and then Natsu versus future Rogue. That's pretty much the chapter. So let's get started with the review. I think I'll go first. The beginning part of this chapter was alright. It was, I was like, okay, I can handle this. You know, it's alright. Like, Laxus's, team is like, oh, we'll handle the small ones. And we get a comedic little picture of, Brickslow, and he has one of those humanoid dragons open, like, he has it by the mouth, and he's like opening up the jaw, so I thought that was pretty funny. Then everyone pretty much says, I think we saw something from the future. Panther Lady was like, Carla, was that you? She was like, no. Happy was like, I didn't do anything either, and then, that was pretty funny too. And then we see Lucy running there, and everyone's like, oh, Lucy-sama, Lucy-sama. And Lucy's like, I have a journal with the very convenient way of possibly ending this slaughterhouse, which pretty much isn't a slaughterhouse. And it was pretty much, all it pretty much said was destroy the gate. And that's where the chapter took a turn for the worse.
So I pretty much agree with the Quincy on all of this. I mean, I really wasn't focused too much on the first part because, I'd expected this from last week's chapter whenever Ultier gave her life, or we think she gave her life, who knows. We don't know if she actually died or not. But, we saw everybody sort of thought they had a glimpse into the future or whatever, and I knew this was going to happen in this part too. So, really not much to add. I mean, there was some funny parts. I chuckled. But not much else for it. So, yeah. In the final part?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So this final part is, Lucy's revealed how to stop the dragons, which is by closing the gates. I mean, no. The gates are already closed. By destroying the gates, which means future road can't come through there, and blah 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 blah. So, they go to destroy it, but they find out that it's made of maginium, I believe, and it's resistant to magic. So they can't destroy it with magic, so they're pretty much having no luck. Then we go over to Natsu and Future Rogue, and they're still fighting, and Natsu's just been weakened, and Rogue's still supposed to be a god. And then Natsu starts talking about this power of friendship, basically. And right then and there, I knew what was going to happen. Not entirely, but I knew the general basis of it. And sure enough, Natsu's jumping and dodging all these attacks from Rogue, and Rogue keeps unleashing these powerful attacks, and they either have very little effect or they're completely missing Natsu, which I find ironic. And so, then, Natsu finishes his speech as he headbutts Rogue, and he's covered in flames, and it looks like it was even more powerful than that punch we saw a few chapters back. But all I thought then was, Natsu, where'd this strength come from? You were just weakened. Where'd it come from? And of course, Natsu hasn't been told anything about needing to destroy the gate or whatever. But it just so happens that, Natsu hit Rogue and they just happen to be going in the direction of the gate. Natsu just happened to crash right through the gate, completely destroying it, obliterating it. I mean, with the dragons and stuff. And, and then we see Natsu gets up and he's got a grip on Future Rogue, who is completely knocked out. And that's pretty much how they end the chapter. And all I'm thinking is bullshit. I'm sorry, but that's what I was thinking. I mean, talk about god modding. I bash Ichigo all the time for god modding. And even recently his god modding has been explained, but Natsu, it's like, Natsu's been doing nothing but that. So, I'm sorry, while I could see this looking really nice in the anime, being all nice with all the explosions and stuff, this is a pretty bad chapter, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, this part of the chapter was just as bad, or if not as bad, or maybe even worse than Sting giving up to the 5 mages of Fairy Tail. Natsu asks his future Rogue, Frosh is still alive. Why are you doing this? Go back to your own time. Future Rogue's like, I don't care about Frosh. I really don't give a crap about Frosh anymore. And I was like, okay, way to just kill your character, Rogue. Even if you are from the future, you should still have little feelings about Frosh. Anyways, whatever. That doesn't even matter anymore. But Natsu's speech, everyone saw it coming. Everyone saw this Nakama speech coming, and it just got me thinking. Future Rogue is from a distant future from this timeline, and in his future, Acnologia is pretty much wiped out humanity. So that means before Future Rogue even killed Sting, they spent their entire time fighting Acnologia. Alright? They're Dragon Slayers. That's not just regular training, guys. They were fighting a dragon. That means they were getting even more powerful than you would get with just regular training. They were fighting for their lives. And when you're fighting for your life, you get stronger. Like Luffy. He was fighting for his life whenever Magellan poisoned him. He came back stronger. Ichigo, he was fighting for his life when Ulquiorra killed him, pretty much. Even though the hollow did come out, but he got stronger after that. He got a new hollow mass. I can't really remember anything about Naruto. Do you have anything about Naruto? About him? Yeah. Well, that's a good point. Pain could have killed him. He was fighting for his life. I mean, even though he just got stronger, he got even stronger after winning that fight. Future Rogue and Future Sting may have not won that fight against Acnologia, but they were fighting him. They were fighting for their lives. That means they were getting a lot stronger. They probably already closed the gap between current Sting and Rogue and Natsu and Najil. They closed that gap, and then they gain even more experience. And here's the thing. Future Rogue kills Future Sting and gets all of his power. So that means he just doubled his strength and magic and a moveset and abilities, and he doubles that just by killing Sting. The first fight between Future Sting and Natsu, not Future Sting, Future Rogue and Natsu, Future Rogue dominates Natsu. He pretty much shits on everything Natsu throws at him. Natsu goes into Lightning Flame Dragon mode, and Future Rogue is like, what the fuck is that shit? That doesn't hurt me. But here, in this chapter, Natsu is badly hurt. Future Rogue is still nearly at 100%. He gives a Nakama speech, and then he one-hits Future Rogue. He headbutts him. Out of all things, he headbutts him, and he knocks him out instantly. And then the dragon casually falls on the gate, crushing it. And again, it's like Future Rogue should be a god to mages at this point, because of the power that they've gained from the future. They should literally be the only god mods in Fairy Tail right now. Yet he gets taken out with the headbutt. And that's the bullshit in this chapter, and I should stop ranting because I'm getting mad again. But I am gonna say this. You said this a couple weeks ago. How convenient was it for Lucy to fly into the air, hit Natsu, land somewhere in Crocus, find future Lucy's journal, which tells him exactly what to do to destroy the gates. How convenient was that? And how convenient was it for Future Rogue and Natsu to be fighting near the Eclipse Gate? That's just all convenient. And if the next couple of chapters ends up being this, where the gate's destroyed and all the dragons that are currently there suddenly start to vanish because some weird shit's happening, that's gonna suck. That's bullshit. Because we didn't get to see any of the other fights. If that happens, all the other fights are meaningless. And that means one of the best characters Hiro Mashima has for him, Cobra, is pretty much gonna be brought to fight the dragons, then take it back to jail, and we'll never hear from him again. So, Mashima, what are you doing with your series? Like, get your shit together. This isn't good. And I just don't see any way like any company would even want to consider bringing your anime back. If people get this mad just from reading the chapters, Twitter blew up. They hated the chapter. How mad are they going to get when they see this shit animated?
And yet this is getting animated before Bleach.
Yeah, because apparently it's coming back in September.
Yeah.
And I nearly threw up just from that thought. I was just like, no. No.
And I know we've made this point a million times, but I know people are going to argue this. They're going to argue that, well, it just wouldn't be good writing if Natsu lost. Actually, that's amazing writing when the one person who stands up against the world loses, because that gives them the chance to redeem themselves. If they're always on a high, there's no point to the story. Like, literally, every single other anime in the world has losing. Dragon Ball Z, One Piece, Bleach, Naruto, Sword Art Online, High School Today, blah 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 blah. There's some loss, and then they come back and redeem themselves. So, uh,
Like Luffy, for example. He got his ass kicked and then fell down.
mm-hmm.
He got his ass kicked at Marineford. He got his ass kicked by a pacifist. He got his ass kicked by Lucia the first time they fought.
Mm-hmm.
And then, he decided to train to get stronger for everyone else's sake. And that's what I love about Luffy. It's because he's willing to train to achieve his goal. And, like, Natsu, he hasn't lost the fight. I mean, you guys can consider the fight with Gildarts in Terojima Island, but that really wasn't a fight. It was just Gildarts trying to teach Natsu a lesson, which he didn't learn. And speaking of Gildarts, if Natsu lost his fight against, Future Rogue, that would have been amazing writing. That would have made the chapter even better. And here's the thing: where the fuck is Gildarts?
Yeah.
He's the strongest mage in Fairy Tail, and he has yet to make an appearance. It's either he's a bad father or he's too far away. If the word gets out that dragons are there, and he finds out that Kana's in danger, he should already be there. He should be tearing shit apart, left to right. Gildarts should run in there and just tear things apart. He's nowhere to be found. If Gildarts doesn't show up to fight, then the hero Mashima is just destroying one of people's favorite characters, which is Gildarts. He's the person that is supposed to come when everyone needs assistance. In Terojima Island, he came when Luna was kicking everyone's ass. And I guess in One Piece, that title belongs to Shanks. He comes when Luffy is in dire need of help, and he single-handedly stopped the war.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess in Naruto it would be
Jiraiya or
Jiraiya.
Kakashi or Iruka.
Or they have that badass character that comes in when everyone else needs help. And Gildarts hasn't even shown up yet. We actually haven't even seen Gildarts since that wormless chapter, which was unnecessary. We didn't need that chapter. But Hero, again, what do you do with your series, man?
Yeah. I take it you don't want to do the basic FAP for this one?
I do not.
Sure.
And rating out of 5 stars, it gets a negative 3 billion out of 5. Negative 3 billion out of 5. Negative. It's not even 0. It's below 0.
I'd have to give it first number that came to mind was 0.5. But, yeah. Anything else to add?
If I do, I'll end up ranting for another 30 minutes.
Alright. Well, links are in the description, and be sure to check out or watch out for more reviews. I am the Shinigami,
I'm the Quincy.
and I'm signing off.
Adios, otakus.
Jana.